anybody else apart from just internal use and to be able to have a look. So the first thing I'm going to do right now is, now where are we? I'm going to go in here. Okay. So just so that we know, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So just so that we know, when we use the platform, obviously you go in and it's got your password, right? So we go on. I've actually got different courses here. So we're going to be going to this one. Is this exactly what you see when you go online?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so you've got the amount which is completed. You can see your statistics. You can see if there's any messages for you. And then at the top on the left, we've got access, which takes you, there it is. And so we had, for example, introduction, which is the presentation we saw last week. We then have talking about English, which was our first unit. And in there we have, again, the presentation from last week. And you have the possibility there of downloading the presentation, or you can see the presentation online if you want to. Okay. We then saw a video. Again, you can watch the video online, or you can download, well, you can't download it, but you can watch it online, and it's an optional activity, so you don't have to do it. It says, if English had standard phonetics. Did you watch the video, Monica and Christina?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. There's Tanya coming in. All right. And tell me, what was the video about? What was the subject of the video?
So it was like explain to us that in English the same phoneme can be said in different ways. So it was saying like that creative English language, and if we say always in the same way, will my sounds slightly different? Obviously we understand it because we hear that word before, but won't be exactly the same.
Okay, good. Excellent. And so what the person on, you can watch it later. So the person on the video said, instead of having 12 vowel sounds in English, imagine we just had 5.
Oh.
And so he just chose A, E, I, O, U, one sound for each vowel, and tried to read English in that particular way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it sounded like some kind of old English. Okay, so if we imagine the Saxons or the Vikings, or in the 12th century, maybe English would have sounded something like that. Okay, so you have your video, and then we had a written assignment, okay, which you sent to me. When there's a written assignment, there's a development exercise. So this is to practice your writing, and you all did this for me, or not all of you, but most of you, and it was very, very good. You can do your assignment here. If you prefer to do it in a Word document and upload it, you can do that by the upload attachment down here. So you might want to do it offline. There's no problem there. In my case, I didn't do the exercise, okay? So you can see that on the right, or sorry, on the left, it says written assignment, and that's got a check, okay? It's not in there because I didn't do it for myself. And then finally, what I did today, I uploaded our review, okay? The review is basically what we did last week, okay? One thing which we didn't speak about, but also the homework review. So I'll check your homework. I'll copy some of the some of the errors, some of the mistakes. So we'll look at them together at the beginning of the next class, just for a few minutes. So there's the homework review, and then there's another exercise we didn't do last week, but I thought we would start off with this week. Once you've done that, you can see, because I haven't completed this, once you've done it, you can mark it as finished. Once that's marked as finished, you go on to the next unit, okay? The next unit, which is today's, you can see at the bottom, it says you must dedicate a minimum time to this activity before marking it as finished, which is actually 5 minutes. So if you want to have everything complete, then you should spend 5 minutes during the week going over the exercise. And then when you've spent 5 minutes reading it online, then you can mark it as finished. And then I know you've seen it. Also this week, you'll see there's a video about Paulo Freire. Do you know Paulo Freire?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Ah, Maria Jose, you know him.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting guy. So worth watching the video. And then finally, you'd have your Unit 2 assignment, which is your written exercise, which you can do next week. Okay. All right. So we've seen that, and basically that's, you know, that's what we're doing. So I'm just going to get rid of that, and we're going to, in fact, I'm going to close that down, and we're going to go on and have a look at one of our other activities today, which was review. Okay, can you see that there?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we did last week, just a couple of things, but really here's our homework review. Okay, here's our homework review. Okay, and these were just some extracts from your written work, which I said, okay, let's have a look this week and see if we can correct them. So I know, Christina, I sent you your mistakes. I think there are very few, and you sent them back to me. They're very, very good. Very, very good. Okay. So if we said, look, here we are, question or number one. Somebody wrote, but it all vanished once I got in touch with native speakers. Once I got in touch with native speakers. Where's the error? Where's the mistake in that one?
Got in touch?
Got in touch. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Got in touch. What does that mean when we say to get in touch with somebody?
Like I will get in touch with you, like you will send an email or a letter or a message to someone to say something. Like I will call you, but just type in something.
Good, good. Yeah, so that's a very specific contact with somebody for a specific reason, isn't it? An email or a telephone call. So when we were talking about learning English, and we said the problems vanished once I got in touch with native speakers. Not really, that because they were not specific native speakers. So what could we say there instead of to get in touch with? Once I
be around.
Once I was around.
Was around.
Yeah, once I was around, that would be good. Yeah, grammatically, and also the meaning. Any other possibility to say that we, we started to have this contact?
Get to know.
Once I got to know, yeah, that's a possibility. Or the same meaning as, to have that contact. to start would be to, once I came into contact with, okay? So once I came into contact with native speakers. So that might be little by little, gradually. Okay, that's great. Okay. The next one then, the next one would be, I got hooked into the English language, or I got hooked into English language. Hook. Okay, hook. Into. What preposition do you think we'd like to use there?
To, only hooked to?
Not hooked to, hooked. Okay, if we said that, you know, I drink tea, I drink lots of tea, okay, every week, every day, all day. So I'm hooked, I'm addicted, I hooked on, okay? I got hooked on the English language, all right? Not exactly the same, but grammatically, to using hooked, it would be I got hooked on the English language, all right? Right, the next one. These ones had been developed some skills on yourself. That was a little more challenging.
Developed. Like it's not a whole had been developed. It's just developed because you just developed those skills and you got them.
Okay,
Maybe.
so these ones developed some skills on yourself.
Develop in
But-
yourself.
Right, so I think what we could do is
That.
so you developed the skills
skill.
yourself.
Okay. Without on. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Or we just
That.
developed some skills myself.
Myself. Yourself. All right.
We were obviously referring to something previously, these ones. That's good. Okay. All right then. And the next one.
Although there isn't motivation enough. Although there isn't motivation enough.
Your turn.
The spelling.
The spelling.
Motivation.
Good.
There is PATION. Motivation.
Although. There
Okay.
we are. Our T. Our motivation.
And you would say enough motivation?
Enough motivation. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So that's a little thing. So we want there in there.
Okay.
Enough motivation. Good. All right. Okay. Now this one, I know who it is. So my family has 3 jewelries. Okay.
Half.
Spelling.
Yeah.
My family have. Remember, a family
It's
can
all right.
it can be plural or singular. It's like a
Okay.
team. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Look, I have some jewelry. Normally, jewelry is not countable, is it?
Okay. So, all right. So it's some before jewelry.
Not because you're not talking about
Shops.
these. You're talking about the place or the shop.
Shops. Jewelry shops. Okay.
Jewelry shops, or what's the name of a shop?
Jewelry shops? No, don't know. Jewelers.
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 Okay. So
Okay.
there's a difference. Jewelry.
Jewelers. Okay.
Jewelry is uncountable, and it's the things that you wear, your stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. I've been
Struggled. I've Being strong.
I have struggled.
Struggling.
Struggling. Okay, good. Because once we've got been, which is the verb to be, that is, I've been struggling, I am struggling, I was struggling. So struggling, good. And slightly bits of other skills.
Some bits. Slightly.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. That's a difficult one because slightly obviously is an adverb and it's not an adjective, is it? And it's not a quantifier. So yeah, we'd have to say small bits or individual bits of other skills. So we could just say small. Okay. Or small pieces of other skills if we wanted. All right. And then finally, this was a very nice sentence. If you are persistent in your commitment, after a while, you would attain your goals.
You will obtain. No?
You.
Future will.
Yeah, you will. You might. You may. Yeah. Attain your goals.
Obtain. O-V-T-I-N.
Obtain. What's the verb we always use with a goal?
Achieve.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Achieve or reach. Okay. So achieve. I'm sure I've written achieve wrong, haven't I? Yeah, achieve. I'm sorry. So achieve or reach your goals. Good. And finally, last one down here. As a foreign languages teacher, another advice. Another advice. Is advice countable? Can we have one advice, two advices?
Another piece of advice.
Ah, lovely. Okay. Another piece of advice. A piece of advice. Good. So another piece of advice would be to do something else. Okay. All right. Okay. Any problems there? No. None at all. Good. Excellent. Well done. Okay. So I'm going to take those off. Just get rid of all those. Good. And we'll go on. So just one thing which I wanted to mention from last week. Remember, we spoke about the top 10 mistakes which Spanish people have in English, which were these ones. Okay. I just wanted to go over them very, very quickly. Vowel sounds, which we said that Spanish only has 5 vowel sounds. Can somebody tell me, Maria Jose, what are the 5 vowel sounds in Spanish?
A, E, I, O, U.
Oh, all right. That's very easy, isn't it, for an English person who comes and says, okay, when I think of this town in Spain called Torremolinos, and I say, gosh, only 5 sounds, 5 vowel sounds. That can't be. I say Torremolinos. Okay, even though we have a lot, because I want to add some extra ones. Okay, what about our consonants then? Consonants have no real match in Spanish. What are those sounds, Monica, which have no real sounds in real match in Spanish?
Z, for example.
Yeah.
V sound. What else?
What?
Is the second symbol is like an S.
Yeah. What's that one?
EH sounds that may like F, like
Shh.
I think it's SH, sound like SH.
SH, exactly. You're like shut. Yeah. Or Sure. Okay, which is going to be different, isn't it, from the CH sound in Spanish? Yeah. What about the next one? What's this one here?
D, maybe? Oh, no, it's
Yep.
The. Okay, then, those, them. Yeah. So that's difficult. We said the
Yeah.
V. Well, I'm not sure about the V, really. Okay.
Maybe.
What about this one here?
G.
Yes.
Ja.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this one here, what sound is that?
Like S.
It's more like the Z at the end of the word, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right, good. So some of those are good. The consonant clusters then. What are the consonant clusters which we worry about? Okay.
Schwa.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you read that sentence? This is a beautiful sentence when, you want to practice your English and you think, I want to sound like, the Queen of England. I've got to say this perfectly well in front of the mirror. So let's imagine, let's try this. Tanya, can you say this? Section number 3?
Yeah. Cornbread and porridge for breakfast.
Oh, that sounds perfect. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Monica, can you say it a bit more English?
Cornbread and porridge for breakfast.
Oh, that's good. Even more. All right, Christina, a bit more English. Oxford.
Cornbread and porridge for breakfast.
Ah, all right, that's good. What about Maria Jose? Can you sound like you're really, really the Princess Anne or something?
I will sound Spanish. Cornbread and porridge for breakfast.
Okay, that porridge. That's difficult. Okay, and Miguel Angel, can you read that sentence to us as well? I can see you saying it really well, but we didn't hear. Okay. No sound from you. Okay. What about the next one then? Number 4. Number 4. What's the problem there?
The length of the vowels.
The length of the vowels, or, for example, in the first 2 words in number 4, what are those 2 sounds?
Or.
So we have what is that? Sort and sort. So it's exactly the same. Okay. What about here then? The next 2. How do we pronounce those?
Po.
Here.
Do.
To. To.
Let's try it again. Though.
Do.
And.
O.
Ho.
Ho.
Okay, so it's exactly the same. It's the same. Looks different, the same phoneme.
What is the meaning of ho?
What's a ho? What's a hoe? A hoe is an instrument which you use if you're a farmer or in your garden when you want to dig. Okay, so it's a long stick with a piece of metal like this. Okay,
Yep.
right, a small piece of metal. So when you want to plant some onions or potatoes. Okay, and finally we have
Fluff and tough.
Say it again, Maria Jose.
Fluff, tough.
Tanya?
Fluff, tough.
Ah, Miguel Angel, are you there? I can see your mouth is perfect. Perfect, okay? But I can't hear you. Okay, so fluff and tough again. So especially when we've got those consonant words like tough, sort, though, they're very, very confusing, of course. All right then. Oh, hello there. Okay. What about then stress timed versus syllable timed? This is a big problem. So how would you read that sentence? How would you read that sentence there? Volunteer. Tanya.
Yeah. The Beatles were bigger than Elvis.
Like that, but I think we could have more emphasis.
The Beatles, well, the Beatles were bigger than Elvis.
Oh, that's a nice Irish accent. Yeah.
It's not Irish, it's the Scotland. It's the Scottish.
Scottish.
Yeah.
All right.
The Beatles were bigger than Elvis.
Excellent. Christina, can you say that sentence as well?
Yeah, the Beatles were bigger than the Elvis.
All right, good. We got some ellipses. Nice. Okay. Monica, can you say that too?
The Beatles were bigger than Elvis.
All right. Then Maria Jose.
The Beatles were bigger than Elvis.
Okay, absolutely. So if I was saying that to my friend, and my friend loves Elvis, I'd be going, no, the Beatles were bigger than Elvis, right? So, you know, it's that Beatles were bigger than Elvis, okay? Now, is it possible by looking at this, just looking at the sentence, to know where the stress comes?
It's easy in this one because it's a short sentence and we know the whole meaning. But I guess when you don't know the meaning or any of the word that you don't understand what this means, can be a little bit tricky to know which one is the stretching.
Absolutely. Which means that to speak good English, we really have to listen, don't we?
Yeah.
We have to hear somebody saying it, you know? Okay, right. Okay, that's good. This is like my favorite ever student. And one day she went to England and she sent me a postcard. And, you know, she was telling me how things were going. And she sent this word. She said to me, and I said, well, what's that? What word is
First of all.
First of all, yeah. But she'd heard first of all, like vegetable or comfortable, which, you know. Okay. Okay, number 6, any problems there?
As many as you like, I think the speakers.
Okay. Contractions then, yeah. They're awful. And then not only a contraction, but also a question tag to make it even more complex, right? Okay. Adjective order, is that a big problem? Do your students have a problem? White ball, red ball, or
No.
I suppose,
small kids, they have problems with adjectives.
of course, right. Or they think maybe the adjectives can be in the plural, not only the singular. But then we come along, black coffee, adjective, and then noun. But then we have somewhere nice. Hold on, noun, and then adjective. Why is that? What kind of word is somewhere?
An adverb?
An adverb? Is it an adverb?
Yeah.
It's a noun.
Somewhere? It's a pronoun, isn't it?
Sure.
Right. So when we're using a pronoun, then we put the adjective afterwards. Yeah. So if you said, What's on television tonight? They said, is there anything good? Is there anything good on TV? Yeah. Are you going somewhere nice? Okay. Or somebody's knocking at the door. Maybe it's somebody important. Okay. So when we're using those pronouns, then that's different. Okay. And then our auxiliary verbs. Why do you need to say, would he come? Why do you need to? Is this difficult to teach in your opinion, Monica?
Yeah, we just literally translate. I think that's even a common mistake for me.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes we don't use those. But what's happening? What's happening with our global English, with our globlish now and Spanglish? We're finding that in spoken English around the world, people are just leaving out the auxiliary verbs. Yeah. So why you say this? Why you need to say this? Yeah. No, is he coming? He coming? He coming? Right? You working? You work? So we're finding this is actually happening around the world. People are just saying, do you work? No, you work, and everybody understands. So I think there's going to be a development somehow in auxiliaries. Okay. And then finally, we've got our false friends. Can you give me an example of a false friend, please? Tanya?
Like embrace can be one, maybe, don't know. Embrace?
To embrace.
To embrace.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, maybe it can be one, but I don't remember exactly if it was of all friends.
Mm-hmm. I think it certainly could be.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Monica, can you think of another false friend?
Sensible.
Sorry?
Sensible.
Sensible and sensitive. Yeah, sensible and sensitive. Okay, Christina, another one?
No, at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay, what's this?
Oh.
What's this?
Folder?
Folder.
Oh, what's this then? In Spanish.
Folder.
Carpeta.
Archivador.
In Spanish?
Archivador.
Or?
Carpeta. Carpeta.
Okay.
Claro,
All right.
Carpeta.
Oh,
Carpet.
carpet. Yeah.
Carpet.
Okay, so you go, there's no carpet. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, my feet are cold. My feet are cold. Okay. All right. And another one, Maria Jose, another.
I was going to say sensitive.
That's a really good one, isn't it? That's a very good one too. Okay. Miguel Angel, are you with us? I cannot quite read your lips. Okay, but that's fine. Okay. I think you have to.
No.
You there?
Constipated could be a false friends.
Oh, yeah.
Constipated's a very good one, isn't it? Very important at this time of year. Yeah. Are you constipated? Yes, my nose, my nose. No, no, no. I have to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. Okay. So our constipated, that's another one, which is very common. Okay. All right then. So let's just get rid of that. It was just something to look at. I'm also going to look at in not next week, in a couple of weeks, we're going to look at some of the problems which English speakers would find when they're learning Spanish. Okay. So in that way, I'm going to ask you maybe to create a presentation, okay, about that. All right. So we're going to go on to today's class, which is this one, English verb. Okay. So we're going to be looking at a model for learning, okay, model to work with. And our model, it's not based specifically on teaching today. It's going to be on our needs, okay, on our needs. So first of all, we're going to have a phrase of the day, which is flogging a dead horse. Flogging a dead horse. Have you heard this before?
No.
Tanya's heard it. Okay. So first of all, literally, what does the expression mean? If you have a horse who's dead, but what's the meaning to flog?
Flog is it comes from the horse race. When the racer or they start to flog the horse with a thing, really thing, and they start to hurry up him or the horse.
Yep.
That's a flog. Difficult to say the meaning, but yeah, it's a thing. And it's because they wanted to hurry up the horse to win the race. That's the flog.
Good. So it's like a whip. A whip.
Yeah, a whip. Yeah.
A whip, which is, remember, there's a nice silent letter, WHIP, a whip. Okay. So if you have a horse, you're riding the horse and you have a whip and a whip. Okay. And it's the sound it makes as well. So it's this thing made of leather, which is soft. So you're whipping.
But it's not the same. Like the whip and the flog is the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. So to whip a dead horse. So explain the expression to us, Tanya.
The expression literally, it's like a waste of time. Like you flog it at that horse, or waste of effort.
Very good. Absolutely. So if you're riding on a horse and you hit him, it might go faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
But if the horse is already dead,
you're doing nothing.
Absolutely. Very good. So flogging a dead horse, what happens if you flog a dead horse?
Nothing.
And what's the result of your efforts? Waste of time. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's when you're doing something which has no result. Okay. There's no result to your efforts. Okay. So we're going to do our mind map about vocabulary. I want you to think, I'm just going to go around each of you. If you can tell me things we need. Monica, tell me something we need.
In general.
In general. In life.
Food. We need to eat, so we need food.
To eat, of course. All right. Christina, something we need.
Yeah, we're thinking that, or like internet. Nowadays, you can't live without internet.
We need internet. Okay, that's good. We need it today. Maria Jose, something we need.
Love.
Love. Okay, that's great. Brilliant. All you need is love. That's a good one. Tanya.
Water.
Water. Okay. Miguel Angel. He's saying peace. No, he's not. Maybe peace. All right. If you want to contribute, if your microphone is not working, you can use the chat. Okay. All right. So is there anything else? Anything else we need?
Family and friends.
Sorry?
I said family and friends.
Okay, and friends, yep.
A house?
Yeah, okay. Say that again, instead of house, which is a good word, but what's
Settle. Settle.
Listen, we have the verb to settle, okay? The verb to settle.
Okay.
There's a similar word, which looks similar, which means the place where
Shelter.
you live. Good, shelter.
Okay.
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 All right, shelter. So we'll get rid of settle because that's a verb, isn't it? Good.
Okay.
Shelter. All right. So those are the things you need. What about things you want, Monica?
Money.
Oh, we want some money. Oh, okay, that's fine. Easy. All right, Christina?
I was thinking the same. A job.
You need a job. Yeah. Okay. Maria Jose, what about things we want?
Success.
Success. Okay. Of course. Yep. Good. Tanya?
A car.
We all want a car. Yeah. Anything else? Monica, go again.
Maybe appreciation.
Appreciation. Good. All right. Appreciation. I'm sorry. Yes, that's very good. Christina, something else we want.
Don't know.
Okay. Listen, we have the verb to want. Everybody knows that verb, but we also have another verb if we really want something, like appreciation. We have the verb to, do you know this word? To,
Crave.
yeah, good, to crave. All right. So that's when somebody really has an excessive want for something. Okay. Crave could also be,
Craving. Oh, okay. Like pregnant.
oh,
Pregnant have cravings. Cravings. All right. Yeah.
they do. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it's like with my tea, I crave my tea. Yeah. This is, I really want my tea. To crave. Good. I can hear you now. That's good. So anything else we want that people want?
Happiness.
Happiness. All right. Good. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. And what are some of the things then which we might consider luxuries? Luxury. A boat. Of course. I thought you all had boats. What other things are luxuries?
Going on holiday.
Holidays. Right now, it's a complete luxury, isn't it? To think about a holiday.
A very fast car.
Okay. Okay. A very fast car. Of course. Thank you.
Jewelry.
Jewelry. Okay. Notice jewelry can be spelled like that or like that, with or without the E. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? Christina, think about this fantastic luxury which you can imagine but you don't have.
House on the beach.
Ah, okay. So your beachfront villa. Yeah. We imagine. Okay. Pretty wonderful. And then we have the opposite then. Burden. Burden. Things which we don't want. Can you think? Again.
Problem.
Monica? Problems. Yeah. Problems are burdens for sure.
Taxes.
Taxes. Very good. The tax burden. The tax burden. Yeah.
Illness.
Illness. Yeah. That's a burden.
Workload.
Workload. Yeah. Notice that word. That's an excellent word, load, because load is literally the synonym of burden, something which is heavy, isn't it? Something on your back. Okay. So the workload, say load in general. Anything else?
A mortgage.
Of course. Yeah, that's the biggest burden we have, isn't it?
Lack of knowledge.
A lack of knowledge. Okay. A lack of knowledge. But that's a really good burden because most people don't realize they have a lack of knowledge. Yeah. maybe that would come after you're trying to do something. That's good. Okay. So lack of knowledge. Yeah, good. Excellent. I'm going to keep those and I will post them on the website as part of our review as well for this week. So good. Things we need. Now, our model, as I said, for this week is very, very easy. Very easy. Do you know Mr. Maslow?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Maslow? Okay. Well, this is great. I mean, Monica, explain. Can you see that shape? What kind of shape is that?
Pyramid?
A pyramid. Okay. Yep. But Maslow wasn't from Egypt, was he? He was not that old. So, Monica, explain what is Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Well, he tried to put in, let's say, in order of necessity, all the needs that we think are important for us.
Okay, that's correct. And he said, if you have this pyramid, if you had a pyramid, would you want to go up or would you want to go down? Or what's the goal? What do you want to achieve?
I think it's a balance between all of the different points you get.
Okay, all right, possibly. If we look at the different, this is our model for human development, which we can see applied in many places. Okay, and we have 5 different aspects or 5 concepts. If we look at these, we've got esteem, love, safety, fulfillment, and physical development. So what would be at the bottom, do you think? What's the basic needs which we all have? Esteem, love, safety, fulfillment, or physical?
Physical.
Physical. Yep. Okay. So physical needs are at the bottom, and we imagine that everybody needs to have these catered for and to have them satisfied. That's good. Okay. What would next be after physical as we go up?
Safety.
Safety.
Safety. Yeah. So we might imagine that physical, what's one of our physical needs? To eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now.
Health.
Sorry?
Health. To be in good health.
To be in good health, of course. And there's your physical. But
Yes.
being in good health means that you need to eat. But imagine if you have a melon, yeah, or some apples, you also need to put them somewhere, and that's your safety, isn't it? That's where you are safe with your melon or with your apples. Good. Okay, so after safety, physical safety, what comes next?
Love.
Yeah, okay, good. So what kind of things? Imagine you've got your apples or your melons and you've got somewhere to keep them. How would you create then with your melons and your shelter this relationship of love?
The family or friendship.
Cool, great. So they would come and share them, and then you create your relationship using and sharing your shelter and your food. Yeah, that's excellent. And then what comes next?
Esteem.
Fulfillment.
Esteem, right. Esteem. And we could go over it quite easy there. And then, you know, the demonstration of the love in the family or the friends, the esteem, feeling somehow that you are providing or that you're sharing with them. So it's now not only physical, but it's also emotional, right? Okay. And finally, fulfillment. Now, imagine in that relationship, Monica, if we're talking about the food and the shelter and the family and so on, fulfillment, what happens there? How would you imagine the expression of fulfillment in the family relationship?
Maybe when everyone has a role and they just do what they have to do because that's been agreed.
Okay, so the unit actually works. That's a possibility. Yeah. Any other way?
You have children.
Okay, right. Yeah, yeah. Imagine that. So the descendancy, it's more than just the physical part, isn't it? It's actually the idea, which is not really important physically to you, but for the society, then you have that esteem and you have the fulfillment of being the head of the family, the grandmother or the grandfather. So very good, very good. Okay, so on these things, for example, family, we've already written that in there. Okay, there's family, the words there. What about sleep? What kind of need is that?
Physical.
Physical. Okay, there's sleep. And safety?
Money.
Money. Okay, good. And esteem?
Confidence.
Confidence.
Excellent. Confidence. And finally?
Morality.
Morality. Yeah? Why morality there?
I guess because that means your character, like if you are a horrible person, you won't have anyone around.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah. So that's we have this luxury after we got the melons and the apples and the family and somewhere to live, and everybody recognizes that you are the head of the family, that beyond that, you can imagine Moses, yeah, in the Old Testament. Then you can have morality. This is good and this is bad. We can have laws and we can have, the 10 commandments. So that's a good way of thinking about it. That's good. Okay. So let's go on. And now let's see, there's Maslow. You can see him there. So he was a psychologist and he created these things, and we can see at the bottom, physiological moves, okay? Physiological, breathing, food, water, sleep, so on, okay? Activities of living. And then the safety, there's our house and our money, and then love and belonging, the friendship and the family and children, and that's lovely. And then self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, respect by others, that's good. And then our self-actualization or fulfillment, which was about morality, spontaneity, and creativity. Yeah, creativity. Good. So we'll see that afterwards. That's it. Let's imagine Robinson Crusoe. He's living on an island by himself. Yeah. How high, which of the needs do you think he would be able to satisfy? Just the first one, the first 2, 3, 4, or all 5? What do you think? What do you think?
Physical for sure. I guess like he can hunt and find fruit and sleep and whatever. And safety, he can build a house with sticks or thing like that. That's it, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Could we go anybody think we could go any further?
Well, if you include Wilson in the story, then maybe you can create the relationship of love and
Yeah.
Okay. What was the name of Robinson Crusoe's friend?
Wasn't it Wilson?
Friday.
Friday.
Ah, I thought it was this. That was the name of the ball.
Ah, yeah. I remember.
But you remember, before he met Friday, what did he have in the movie? Remember the movie with Tom Hanks?
Mhm.
So what did he have?
A coconut.
A coconut, and he put the face on it, didn't he? Like an emoji, yeah. And he said, "Okay, I need belonging and love and friendship." So he created this for himself. Okay. And how did Robinson Crusoe, if you remember the book or the film, how did he get to fulfillment? How did he express morality? Or at what point?
When he found the FedEx envelope,
Okay.
and at the end he gave the envelope to the person who who was sending it.
Okay, great. Yeah. All right, that's the movie. I didn't see the end of the movie. But exactly. Yeah. So that oh no. I've got a long weekend now. I don't know what to watch. Okay. But absolutely. So that's going beyond. It's something which was not necessary. It's something which made him feel fulfilled by after being on the island. That's great. Okay. So if we look at Maslow and his pyramid and we talk about language, okay, let's imagine, okay, we've got physical needs, safety, love, esteem, fulfillment. Have a look at these. Okay. And we said, okay, these are different functions, things we could do with language. How would which part of the pyramid do you think they applied to? Have a little look, have a look there. We've got 5 language items, which is number 1, please, can I stay here? Number 2, to give a presentation about human trafficking. Number 3, which is a quote, all for one, one for all. The other one, congratulations on your award. The boy is starving. Bring him some food. Okay, so where would we put the first one?
Safety.
Safety, please can I stay here? Yeah, and that expression in English, if we were English teachers, what's the function of that? What's the function? Please can I stay here? What are we doing there?
Asking for permission.
Asking for permission, or we're making a
Request.
request. Good. Okay. Lovely. Okay. And we said that was safety. Good. Can I stay here? We're asking for shelter. Very good. And what about giving a presentation about human trafficking? I said, I want you to create a presentation and tell us about human trafficking.
Esteem.
Fulfillment.
Fulfillment. Yeah, because it's one, it's formal, and because it's formal, it needs to be created in a formalized manner, and because we're talking about something which needs some morality as well. So human trafficking is a bad thing and you need to consider. So that would be fulfillment. Yeah. Okay. What about this one? All for one.
Law.
Okay, good. And what are we saying there? What are we doing there with this expression?
Like we are all together in this.
Yeah, and
Friendship.
we are
Friendship.
We are a team.
Solidarity.
Solidarity. So we are yeah, good, excellent. So what we're doing is claiming or asserting or exclaiming, you know, our belongings. So that's good. Okay. So that's the function of the language. Good. What about this?
Praising.
Okay, we're praising somebody. Good. And what kind of language is that?
Formal.
But which part of the pyramid is that on?
Esteem.
Esteem. Okay, esteem. All right, lovely. We always say that, you know, we have these words and we say the Spanish learners of English, they have the habit of saying Spain. Yeah. Oh, we're going to spend money. I said, no, it's Spain or spend money. So we don't want that vocalized. And here we have this wonderful word, which is good, esteem. So we must use it there. It's not steam. Remember, steam is vapor, isn't it?
Yes.
When you're boiling water,
Yes.
right? But here's esteem. Lovely. Okay. And finally, the boy is starving. Bring him some food. That's
Physical needs.
physical needs. Good. And what are we doing there? Bring him some food.
Giving an order.
Excellent. Okay, giving an order. All right, so that's interesting. So we can talk about not only the content of our language, but also the function of our language and how we can relate that to people's needs and people's hierarchy of needs. Okay, good. All right, I'll keep that again. Let me get rid of this. Obviously, you can do this at home again. I like to do this with students, all right? I like to introduce this to students to make them conscious of different things and the different things we're talking about when it's survival or when it's being creative. That's why I've decided to share this with you today. Okay, so now instead of just Maslow and language, we're now going to use Maslow and the way that we use language in a higher, more creative sense. So here we're talking about Maslow and literature. Now, there's a little bit of noise. It's not there. Okay. Now there's a bit less noise. Fine. Miguel Angel, turn yourself back on. That's absolutely fine whenever you like. That's good. So Maslow and literature. Okay. So what do these language items refer to? If we look at the source and think why they might be important and how we could use that in teaching. So could you read the first one? Read them through alone now, just for a minute. There's 5 different ones, and the 5 different ones each apply to a different stage of the pyramid. So just read them to yourself for 1 minute. All right. Okay, so, okay. So now we're introducing to our students, if we want to, not only language, but also literature and how that might kind of cross over from a subject into using English. So we're talking about bilingual education or CLIL. Let's imagine we wanted to introduce literature or English, and we wanted to do it with social studies, maybe, or sociology. And here we think, oh, well, here's a way of doing it. So let's look. First of all, what's the first sentence? I want you to read it. Remember, this is literature. Read it with good feeling. Maria Jose, the first one.
Read.
Yes.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's very, very good. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? Yeah. What do you think? Which part of the pyramid is that?
Esteem.
Esteem.
Self-esteem, isn't it?
Mm.
Self-esteem. Where does that line come from? Do you know?
Snow White.
Snow White. Okay. Yeah. And I wonder, there's Snow White down there, and there we are. Okay. So that's when she looks in the mirror and says, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? And the mirror says, not you. Yeah. Not you. It's somebody else. Okay. Interesting. What's the adjective or somebody who would ask the mirror what they thought? If you asked somebody this in the mirror, what kind of person would you be?
Centric.
Narcissist.
A narcissist.
Okay, but we got a really good word in English which is very short.
Okay.
Vain, from vanity. All right. So it's very vain. All right, that's good. Thank you, Maria Jose. And Monica, can you read the second one?
When blackness was a virtue, the road was full of mud. I came from the wilderness, a creature void of form. Come in, she said. I'll give you shelter from the storm.
Okay. And what does that refer to then? Physical needs, safety, love, esteem, or fulfillment, do you think?
Safety.
Safety. Okay, safety. Why? What's the word in there which tells it's about safety?
Shelter.
Shelter. Excellent. And the opposite of shelter, what's the in those 4 lines, what's the opposite of shelter?
Wilderness.
Wilderness. Absolutely. Yeah. Wilderness, the wild place. Wilderness. Good. Where's that from? Which what's the source?
I guess it's Bob Dylan's song because of the title.
Because it's called Gimme Shelter, of course. Yeah. Give me shelter. All right. So I wonder there, we've got some music and we've got a fairy story and we've got social studies and we've got English, everything together. Yeah. We'll be using everything together in our class, maybe. All right. What about the third one, Christina?
Okay. Please, sir, I want some more. What? Said the master of lad in the faint voice. Please, sir, replied Oliver, I want some more. More? The master aimed a blow at Oliver's head with the ladle.
With the ladle.
Ladle.
Mm-hmm.
Ladle.
Okay. And what's that discussing then? Which part of the pyramid?
Physical.
Physical. And which specific need?
About food. They're talking about being hungry.
Okay. And where does that come from?
How is it? Oliver? Taking Oliver trees.
Yeah. Okay. And what's a ladle?
With, like you said before, like with the horses, with the stick that you kick on that.
No, a ladle is something which you find in
Like a spoon.
like a spoon. Okay. When you have soup,
All right.
you serve with a ladle. Okay, so it's like a big spoon for soup. So This is from Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist. And this is a very famous scene where Oliver says, "Can I have some more?" He said, "More?" And he hits him round the head with the ladle and says, "Of course not. No more." Okay, good. Again, we could use this, right? And the next one, Tanya.
Father's wears his Sunday best. Mother's tried, she needs a rest. The kids are playing up downstairs. Sister's singing in her sleep. Brother's got a day to keep. He can't hang around.
He can't hang around. Good.
Around.
Hang around. Okay. What's that talking about?
Love.
Good. Okay. So it's the family. Yeah. Okay. That's great. That's there. And where does that come from?
I think it's Madness, Our House.
Okay. So that's a song called Our House, talking about the family. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good. I mean, we could even use that kind of stuff in a low-level English class, couldn't we? Because we're practicing the family names, the words for the family, because it's actually very easy because every line begins with father, mother, the kids, sister, brother. Okay, if we wanted to. Okay, and this is the sort of thing I can imagine this being used as a kind of backward dictation. Backward dictation where they listen and they're just writing down the words, they remember or that they recognize. And the more they listen, they can start filling in the places themselves. So that's quite nice. Okay. You have to input things like where or tired, downstairs, sighing, hang around. They're probably things that are a little bit more complex. Okay. But they're creating literature, they're creating writing themselves. Again, for children. Okay. Miguel Angel, are you with us? Okay.
Yes.
So read to me the
Picture.
last one.
Picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees and marmalade skies. Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly, a girl with kaleidoscope eyes.
All right. And what's that referring to? Which part of the...
It has to do with love. Fulfillment.
I think fulfillment. Yeah. Why with fulfillment there? Why would we say it's there? Is this realistic?
No.
No.
No,
So,
it isn't.
Right.
Maybe
So
because the picture yourself. But it has to do with dreams. It is not realistic.
Sure.
So it's difficult to interpret, to understand.
Yeah. Good. So it's completely imagination, creativity, fantasy, and that's where you get to your fulfillment because the rest of your needs are already satisfied, right?
Yes.
Okay. And where does that come from?
From the Beatles, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. But, LSD. It has to do with that.
LSD. D. So?
Drugs.
Ah, okay. Oh, okay. So there's a second reading, isn't there? So there's a second meaning there about that. Okay. Yes. Obviously, if you're working, I can imagine if you're working with teenagers now, and you tell them you're going to be giving them some, lyrics from Bob Dylan or the Beatles or Madness, they'll say, you're crazy. you're absolutely crazy. You know, we don't, not even our parents listen to them. Okay, so I think the task for the teacher would be going, okay, I'd like to introduce some basic literature, some fragments of literature into class. You'd probably have to update it, look for something more contemporary, which is going to fit in, you know, with a teenage mindset. Okay, but, you know, can be done. All right, let's go on. Oh, we don't, no more hearts there. Let's go on down here. Okay, right, I'm going to put you into two groups now, and I want you to tell me, okay, in pairs, I want you to discuss, how do you cater for your students' needs, and which areas require more response from you? And I'm thinking, if you were with very, very small children, you probably have to think about some of the physical needs, safety and love, you know, fulfillment possibly, but you've got those. If you're working with adult students, or, you know, bachillerato, then you probably don't have to worry very much about their physical needs, right? I hope. I have to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom. That's enough. Okay. So discuss the way that you cater to your students' needs from the 5 different parts of the pyramid. Which areas specifically require intervention or response from you? And what are some of the factors which influence this? I mean, there are factors like the kind of school where you work, the age, okay? Oh, I'm going to turn all your audio off for the moment. The age, the country, or the setting. Maybe the setting, maybe if you're in a, you know, a very poor area or a very rich area, if it's urban or rural, will these things affect you? Okay, so I'm going to put you into groups for 8 minutes. I want you to discuss this, please. All right, amongst you, and you talk about, so the 5 different things and how you interact with students, and whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. All right, so I'm going to put you into 2 different groups, going to be very opposite. Okay, so I'm going to put you in there. There we go. I've got you 2. Okay, and then you 2. Okay, so I'll give you 8 minutes to discuss this, and then I want you to come back and tell me some of the things maybe that you've found. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we'll see how this works, Maria Jose, how the group sessions work. So just join in with your group, just accept, and you're back. Hello.
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 I was looking. Can you see up there behind me? You see that photograph
Yes, yes.
on the
Yeah.
wall? Okay. So there's a group of students who had a lot of problems. Okay, learning difficulties, family problems, physical problems, many different things. Okay. So I was just thinking about them when I was looking at the pyramid. Okay. So tell me, Tanya, tell me. Talk.
Yeah, I was talking with Christina, and she is working in Oxford, right, in a village close to Oxford. I don't remember exactly what's the places.
All right.
Yeah, sorry. But she's working in a classroom with with her children are 5-year-old. She is she try to keep track of their families, their families, their friendships that they made. The love part that they feel loved by their family, also their safety. If they are feeling well at home and they have no risk in it, that's it.
That's great. That's great. Okay, Miguel Angel, what can you tell us?
It's difficult for me to say something about that. Instead of that, I could tell you that I have realized how different pupils can be according to the different areas where they live. For instance, if there is at least in the 80s in Asturias, in a mining area, 90% of jobs were in the mines. Some good students could, especially boys, could think about becoming engineers. Whereas in a touristic area, cultural touristic area, maybe foreign languages, history, art, picture, architecture could be something more interesting for them, and so on. On the other hand, I haven't said this, but I had some experiences very different from one very good school, or at least very good students, and next year very bad, and especially the opposite. Okay, full stop.
Okay, that's great and lovely. Thank you. So depending on the area, of course, yeah. And Christina.
So she was telling me that she worked in a nursery with children from 2 to 3. So she mainly focusing physical safety and obviously loved. So she tracked the families and to see if they have any family issues, and so obviously working with families who can have issues or poorly, or like different family structures that make a difference with the thing that you try to be engaged with them. So obviously the main thing is about like they're okay, they don't have any physical mark, they have food, their safety and being loved. And obviously we were both saying like the two top things with the children we are working, we won't do anything. It will be more talking and interaction with other children, but it's not something that you will explain what's the meaning, for example, of achieving your goals or something more difficult for them to explain and to understand.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And Maria Jose. Oh, we can't hear you.
Microphone. Your microphone, Maria Jose.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
We were talking about the same, about how important is the area. For example, I'm teaching in an area with lots of immigrants, and most of families, they live 3 families in one house. And also we were talking about the differences between secondary school, because Monica teaches secondary and I'm teaching in primary.
Okay. Okay. And what's your experience specifically then?
My experience with my kids.
Yeah. Which of these would cause most problems with your students, let's say, or most challenges? Physical, safety, love, esteem, or fulfillment?
I think fulfillment.
Okay.
I mean, but it's not a problem. I mean, it's difficult because they are small.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Reaching the maybe an intellectual maturity to be able to start thinking outside of reality. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. And Monica, about in Bañeza.
Well, I was trying to explain that as I work with teenagers, one of the most difficult part to deal with is STEAM. As well, once the basic needs, physical needs are catered and they feel safe. Of course, they can have some family issues as well, but STEAM and love with teenagers is something that you need to work on very hard. Also the connection student teacher is a very important thing. I told Maria Jose told us that as a primary teacher you're like kind of a superstar for them, so everyone is very happy with you. You're the second mother in a way, and I'm quite the opposite, even though I'm still a bit young, not a lot, but I'm the enemy, so I need to gain their respect, and we have to try to work in this way. Otherwise, my teaching practice won't be worth it at all. So
Sure. And then you've got powerful enemies like, frustration and hormones and things like this. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's great. Okay. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let's go on then. In the modern world, what are some of the more human needs? Christina already said internet. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Any other things which we're thinking about?
Vaccines.
All right. All right. Yeah. Okay, good. We're not going anywhere without a vaccine. That's true.
Research.
Okay, research. Yep. I'm going to write that down.
Again, it is a question of knowledge.
Research and knowledge and the application of knowledge. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Psychological support.
All right. Yeah, we didn't really talk about that. Yep. Good. Anything else?
Good sense.
Common sense.
Common sense. Yes.
All right.
Common sense.
Yeah, maybe they could put the common sense in the vaccine. Yeah, that'd be very good.
And in politics and in citizens.
Okay, good. Yeah, absolutely. Not only for kids. All right, that's good. Let's look. Here's an alternative model. Okay, 2 alternative models then in the modern world. Okay, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You see the blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe those are Monica's students, Xbox, sport, donuts, TV, and other stuff. All right. And then on the right, maybe those are Monica's students as well. What do they need?
Their phones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Battery life, Wi-Fi, and then the rest, that's afterwards. The food, water, sleep, we can look after those later on. Okay, good. All right then. So good. Okay, so I'm going to leave you now with a video. Okay, the video which you can watch on the platform about Paulo Freire working in particular experiences, particular goals, a particular setting. And I think his philosophy of education, maybe today people would say, oh no, that's too revolutionary, or it's treating some of the very basic needs of people. Watch it and see. It's about 11 minutes long, talks about him and his outlook on life. And your assignment. Okay, remember the assignment, your written assignment, what I'm looking for, your ideas are fantastic. This is good. But what I really want to see is good English. Okay, so you can structure this either as a debate. Should teachers be expected to think about their students' needs beyond the subject that they teach in the curriculum? You might want to do this as introduction to some of the basic needs or some of the challenges which teachers have. And you might want to say arguments in favor. Yes, teachers are not only teaching their subject, but they also have to think about their students' development. And on the other hand, some students are unable to continue or follow a curriculum if they don't have their basic needs met. Or you might like to say, you can structure it in another way if you want, with an introduction and then maybe 5 sections according to the different needs and how a teacher might interact. Or you can just do it from your own experience, okay? So what's important here is the quality of the English. Okay, so don't get mixed up, don't have any kind of interference with very complex ideas which you would find hard to express, okay? Very important to keep it down and basic so that you're expressing yourself well. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all right? So if you can do those on the platform, and then next week again, I will send them to you and we'll have a little bit of time at the beginning to look at some mistakes, look at some frequent common errors, and then to speak about things. Okay. Next week, we will also have, I'm sorry, I didn't have time this week, was to do a review of different examinations if any of you want to take a language certificate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just preparing that now. I'll have that for you next week. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good. Thank you. So you're not working tomorrow. You've got a holiday tomorrow. Right?
I'm working.
You're working.
too.
But hold on. It says here, Fiesta
So-
del Docente. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. 9th. There we go.
Not for me.
You are not in Castilla León, I suppose.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everybody else have a good long weekend, and Maria Jose have a
You
long
too.
weekend, but not so long. Okay. All
Nice.
right.
3 days is good.
Not too bad. Okay. Thank you then. So,